Put some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time is how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
Wake up early, gon' rise to the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
I love the chase and the hunt, and I set the pace when I'm running. I always take what I want and I always give it 100. Don't need a bank, no, I'm funded. Play the game like it's nothing. I'm always thankful for something. Don't take for granted, stay humble. Now wake up, it's time to look at the enemy. Look in the mirror if he is no friend to me. It's not working out, maybe it's the chemistry. It's time to break up so I can make a better me. Better believe in your mind cause it's everything. You can mold, shape, find almost anything. All it takes is some time and some clarity to find your identity. It's mind over everything. And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. 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 Don't be scared. Stupid up. Don't be scared. Turning back, I won't stop, I'ma fight until there's nothing left. It's so what? You're gonna be hurting bad, cause I've been to hell and back. You don't wanna make me mad, I stay strong, you will never see me crack. And if you get in my way, you gonna feel the wrath. Gotta say it to my face while he's looking back. Mirror breaks after math, when I hate, I attack. this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal. Don't stop, just level up, don't
Step one, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.
Good morning, YouTube. I hope you guys are doing amazing today. Why am I dressed like this? I'm going swimming, folks. As soon as we're done here, I'm out the door. I'm going to my bestie's house. Her and I are going to do what her and I do. Hang out at a pool. Chit chat. Me be on my phone and her get frustrated that I can't get off my phone. That's how we roll. That's how we roll. Lots of stuff going on. Lots of stuff. I had to put my hat on anyways because it got smushed in the back of the SUV, as you can see. What does it say? If you don't like my sassy attitude, quit talking to me. Quit talking to me. Good morning, all. Hope everybody's doing well. I know you guys, the morning crew has missed me, and I'm sorry about that. And I'm sorry for coming so late when you guys expect me so early. But, you know, again, the alarm clock went off. If I can't do it. Since this new time change, I haven't gotten it together. I don't know. I guess, the divine intervention is changing the time of the show, right? Divine intervention, you know. Graham, first one to say morning this morning. It is nice to see you, my friend. Stitching, bitching, and true crime. Good morning. Bullhorn Betty is here, and we're saying good morning to each and every one of you. Pamela Long, nice to see you. That scares me. I agree. We're going to get into this. We got a few things that we're going to talk about prior to jumping right in. But we're going to get into this, and we're going to open the phone lines. I want to hear from the audience this morning, you know, about some of the stuff that we're going to be discussing. You know, it's a little concerning for me. I've got to be honest with you. And then when you look a little deeper and peel back that layer of onion, you start getting a little more concerned about what is going on. So we're going to discuss all of this. We're going to see what the audience feels. And you know what? We're not going to have a complaint session without trying to find some viable solutions. You know, there's nothing more important. If you're going to complain about something, let's bring in solutions so stuff like this doesn't happen again. Just my opinion. We'll see where it goes, right? The audience kind of drives the bus on the Bullhorn Betty channel, so we will see where the conversation goes this morning. Cotton Candy, good morning. Sugar Plum, it's nice to see you. Did I say? I think I said, yep. So Cotton Candy says, justice for Summer Moon, Utah Wells, no justice, no peace. I love that. I love that. Texaholic, nice to see you here this morning. We have Scorpio Stoner. Good morning and happy Friday. Good morning and happy Friday to you too. Cindy S., it's nice to see you here this morning. Let's see where we go here. So, oh my God, I know. I love the hat too. Oh my goodness. Yep. Good morning, Karen. Birdie Crime Chat. Nice to see you here. Thank you. I love the hat too. I can't remember where I got it, but I don't think I spent that much for it because I don't really spend a lot of money for my hats. So it's nice to see you guys here. Harley's World. Gail, it's nice to see you. Good morning, Sage. Mike Stevens, nice to see you. Live broadcast. Hope you read my comments and found some of it helpful. The girls did take pictures of some of the comments and did send them to me. Thank you so much for being such a proactive viewer and audience member. We definitely value that. Yvette from South Africa, nice to see you. Nice to see you here this morning. Zoe, good morning. Are you going to cover, what is it? Adan Fuchi Trail? I think you meant trial when it starts. I'll have to look into it. I'm not sure, Kim. I'm not sure. I haven't even looked into it the first time I saw that name. You'd think I'd be up into it. So, well, first of all, let me address that, which I shouldn't, because we're going to be getting trolls and people that incite things into this chat out. If you don't like it, too bad. We don't bring political ideology on this channel because it's a wedge issue, and missing children and missing persons and murdered persons have nothing to do with politics. It doesn't. So I don't like it. I'm actually frustrated because I'm pretty sure I've recognized this name, and this is not the first time we've had this conversation about this. And you're saying that Jesus doesn't like hypocrites, but they also don't like gossipers either, and that's in the Bible. And when you say you doubt I read the Bible every day, you don't know me. And so now you're spreading gossip, which then you are calling yourself your own hypocrite. So, you might want to really adjust your tone in this chat if you want to participate. You also may want to quit assuming, because as Einstein stated, assuming just makes you an idiot, right? Because you're assuming something, yet you're pointing the finger at somebody for being a hypocrite, but you are being a hypocrite because you're talking about Jesus doesn't like hypocrites, but they don't like gossipers either, which you are partaking in. So again, calling your own self a hypocrite. I digress. I hope you enjoy the show. I hope you stick around and learn something. If you're just in here to gaslight, your days in this chat will be numbered. Your time here will be numbered. So if you'd like to participate, but we leave political stuff out of this unless we're directing political talking points specifically to the child welfare laws and things that we need to do proactively to help the children of this country. So those are the rules. This is your warning. Should you break those rules again, you will be timed out. And then if you do it again, you will be blocked. So no need to get there. That's just the rules of this chat if you would like to participate. Okay. So good morning to you too. And I pray for you. And every single day we're on here and we say a little prayer to God. So for you doubt that I read the Bible every day, I don't know if people read the Bible every single day, but following it and trying to be a good person and a good-hearted person every single day, I definitely fulfill. And I testify, which is part of the word, and I read to others. So I do follow a very strict, principled life. Um, you know, whether you agree with that life, but you don't know, right? You're assuming. And you know what assuming means? It makes an ass out of you as well as, you and me, right? That's what assume means. So I quit assuming. I quit trying to make me out to be a bad person because I'm just not. No matter how you try to smear me, and actually even like my past, all you're doing is bolstering the fact that I've made some incredible changes in my life. And every time you guys throw that stuff out there, all you do is show my audience how far I've truly come and why I'm here today. So, again, I pray for you. I pray that you quit being obsessed, first and foremost. I'm starting to think a lot of people have mental problem, bullhorn Betty derangement syndrome. And you claim yourself a conservative. What I claim myself to be outside of this room is none of your business. And I think you're forgetting that. What I do in my own life is none of your damn business. It's nobody's. It's none. Just because I have a channel on YouTube doesn't give people a right to dig into my life and give me absolutely no privacy. Nobody does that to you, right? If you wanted me to do what you're doing to me right now, to you, I'll be happy to do so. I will be happy to do so, but I don't because I don't play in those games, right? So, just FYI. But good morning. I tagged the feds. What does it say? I tagged the feds on that interview. I also emailed them. They have charged with embezzlements once before. The money is to find some are not their pockets. Yeah, and we got to figure out what's going on because I was talking to a friend this morning, and that friend told me that the person that was arrested in October, which was 3 months after Summer Wells. Was she already away and removed from the money? We're going to talk about all that. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to open the phone lines. Good morning, good morning, good morning. I see Sage, Kimberly. I'm just going to move on through. Steph Hammond, Angel, nice to see you. Anissa, nice to see you. Menaville, Gal, nice to see you. I am Team Summer. I think everybody else I got. If I did miss you this morning, I apologize. Good morning. Exactly. And that's the problem is jealousy. If you don't like what somebody else is doing, go do it better. Simple. If you don't like something like me, I didn't like the way my county was going. So you know what I did? I got my butt up out of this chair and went out there and did something. Whether people agree with it or not, I got off my butt and I let my mouth and my voice be heard. If you don't like what's going on, if you don't like what you're seeing on YouTube, build your own channel. Maybe people will be interested in what you have to say. Go out there, and if you don't like what I'm doing, do it your own way, right? Instead of complaining and harping on somebody else about how they're doing, which you cannot control what anybody does. The only person you have control over is yourself. And when you come in and disrupt a live, when they're talking about serious matters, you're the a-hole, not the person that's running the channel. Seriously, that's the way it rolls. And furthermore, again, if you don't like what's going on, you are a grown ass person that can get their butt up and go make a difference for themselves instead of complaining about it and doing absolutely nothing about it. Right. And I even just said, we're not going to sit here and complain about this money. We're going to come up with solutions. Right. Because there's nothing more. And it's funny. It just fell right in because I just said there's nothing worse than complaining about something, but not coming up with a solution. Right. And for anybody to think they control somebody or control what goes on out of their mouth and controls what goes on in their channel is ludicrous. You have no control over me. Control over me at all. Just saying. Just saying. So, but either way, that's just my 2 cents, Emily. You know, but I bring the word. I bring it. We're going to be bringing the word today. If you stick around, you might get to listen. You guys need to listen, right? These people have a sick session with you. Cindy, you're not lying. And many people for the longest time believed all this stuff about how horrible I was because there was so much horrible stuff about me, right? But the problem is, and I said this at the beginning, you're going to throw everything you have, every bad thing that I did the past 20 years, you're going to throw out and you're not going to have nothing because these people only have my past. They definitely don't have my here and now or my future because my life has totally changed since them days. So they're going to go out here and spread all this information, misinformation, because half of it's a lie that comes out of their mouth to begin with. And then they're going to have nothing else because what horrible things do I do? I work hard for victims. I travel this country to bring information to all of you and to find answers at the end of the day, to truly find answers and to help. What could possibly be wrong with that? Give it time, folks. Give it time. Somebody sitting behind a keyboard will find fault. They can't look at their own life. But boy, they can put mine under a microscope, right? It's hilarious. But what do? Keep moving forward. And you keep showing them each and every day, they will not stop you. They will not control you. They will not control what comes out of your mouth. And the best way to do that is show up and be present each and every day, which I try to do. Even when I don't want to. Even when I don't want to. Even when I think I need a break. I show up. I want to also get a big shout out. I heard that there was a lot of people out there that supported Dolly Soap for a middle finger to the haters. I love that. I love that. And they came out strong. They got to purchase something, they got something in return, and they got to put the middle finger up to all the haters out there in YouTube world picking on our boy Dolly. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I didn't get an opportunity to, I know he went live last night. I have no idea what he talked about. I didn't have time because, again, I got up late. I'm in my bathing suit. I've got to walk out the door when we're done live here and head over to my friends for my R&R day, sitting out, maxing and relaxing poolside. So, and I got to remember to wear sunscreen. It's the one thing I never wear, and I'm starting to feel the effects of never wearing sunscreen. I don't like stuff on my skin. I don't like it. I don't like, just makes me feel ugh, right? But I guess some of that ugh will keep me from feeling ugh in the future, right? Go figure. I'm stubborn, but I'm starting to see the effects. PJ, nice to see you. Turtle Power, got some turtles in the house. It's nice to see you guys. Yes, I was there last night. Nice. I fell asleep during the live. I don't know how some of you guys do it. Like, you guys are here, bright and early for coffee club. And, every now and again, I'll pop in if I wake up in the middle of the night, go pee or God knows what else, grab a drink, grab a piece of chocolate cake in the middle of the night. Whatever the reason I get up in the middle of the night for, if Dolly's on, I'll pop in there and listen. But I can't hang with the night owls. Can't hang with the night owls. They shouldn't be the Turtle Club anymore. It should be like the night owls. She should have an owl. Woo, woo, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Stinking insomnia. I suffered from insomnia too, but mine was going through my divorce. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't eat. I lost 60 freaking pounds in a matter of 2 months. Skin was just, thank goodness it's starting to level out and tighten up where it needs to tighten up a year later. I couldn't believe how much weight I lost. I thought it was just because my ex-husband, he ate all the time. He had to eat. Like he had to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I'm not that way. I don't have to have breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I can go a whole day and eat one meal a day. Gosh, more speculation. Hi, Uncle Eddie. We were wondering when you were going to come in. I can use whatever I want. That's the great thing about being in this country. It's a great thing about not having to listen to people like you. You know, I have a problem listening to people that have a poop tube in their hand. I'm sorry. I can't take them seriously at blank screen, nor can I care about what they have to say. So, but it's good morning, Uncle Eddie. We'd like to see you. You know, you look like crap this morning. Gotta say, you look like crap. You know, maybe you need to eat better. Maybe you need to clean out your septic in a proper manner. Just saying, you know, save the environment. Don't put it down in the rain gutter or the rain. It's not a gutter. What is it? I don't even know what it is. And we have another troll in here with popcorn, Mr. Ronnie Lawson, which clearly isn't Mr. Ronnie Lawson. It's another troll. We attract the weird. We attract the mentally insane. People have bullhorn Betty derangement syndrome. They really do. Never knew. So this morning, again, we are with the language of letting go. Language of letting go, which Emily says we don't pray or don't read the Bible. We don't read the Bible every day, but we pray every day. There's no requirement in the Bible that say that we have to read the Bible every day, right? But we do have to be good people. We do have to be, follow the Bible. And we also have to testify, which I do. And I come under a lot of scrutiny for testifying about the walk I've had with the good man, right? And how he's changed my entire life, right? That's what's asked of me. I think I'm doing pretty good at it. I'm not perfect. Nobody is, right? Yeah, and I've always said that if they utilize some of this energy for good, I mean, they could do amazing things, but they choose not to. Yeah. I can tell you it's harder to be kind to people that are mean to you than it is to be mean to kind people, right? It really is. It takes a lot more, a bigger person to be nice to a nasty person than it does for a nasty person to be mean to a nice person. Guess Bullhorn Betty can't be that bad. But I'm glad. I'm glad, people are taking off the blinders. They actually are starting to see who the problem is. They're starting to see it's not me, which is good. That's what I've been screaming for the last 6 or 7 months. But we got people on this channel that actually can think and see for themselves. Oh my God. Anyways, so this is find ways to relax, right? This is like just perfect. I tell you, I love this book, The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. I believe Karen has her book now. She says she loves it. She absolutely loves it. And this is not a paid sponsorship by this book. I mean, this is just something that has empowered me. And if it's helped me heal in my life, I'm hoping that it helps somebody else heal in theirs. Finding ways to relax. June 24th. Just want to make sure it's June 24th. It is June 24th, guys. It is June 24th. Just to let you know. It's Friday. It is Friday. Can you believe it? It's Friday. Everybody, I hope you guys have an amazing weekend. You guys will be seeing my lovely face. So find ways to relax. And this is related to, this doesn't have to apply to recovering alcoholics, just to let you know. Doesn't have to apply to that. Doesn't have to apply to recovering addicts at all. It doesn't have to apply to people that are part of Al-Anon. This is just everyday things, but I'm going to read it verbatim. Recovering alcoholics and many people who choose not to drink or use drugs need to find ways to relax that don't involve alcohol, drugs, or medications. Many of us remember daily that we are choosing not to drink or use drugs, but we may forget that it's important to learn ways to relax our body and our minds. Maybe it's time to assertively pursue options for helping us to unwind. I can tell you things that help me. Hot water, whether it's taking a long shower, sitting in a hot tub, or resting in a bathtub. Meditation and visualization, being near a large body of water, and if it's not possible, looking at a good picture of the ocean or a beautiful sea. Drinking hot herbal tea, a massage, music, meditation tapes, a good movie, laughter, deep, conscious breathing, playing the piano, and being outside in the sun. I'm going to be outside in the sun today. We each have our own needs, our own methods of calming ourselves down. Do you have a list of what works for you? If you don't, today is a good day to make a list. Today and each day, do at least one thing deliberately that relaxes you. Begin allowing your body to memorize how it feels when it is relaxed. Then consciously duplicate that feeling throughout the day whenever you feel yourself become tense. God, show me ways to relax. So here's the activity that is suggested. Begin making a list of things that help you relax. This is an important part of your self-care list. If it's a long one, great. If it's a short one, pursue other methods of relaxing that are available to you and add them to the list. Whenever you feel you're becoming tense, take your list out and actually do one of the things on it. And one that most appeals to you at that moment. Part of getting to know yourself better means becoming acquainted with things that help your body relax. Again, I love this. I love this book. It is a great book. And I hope if anybody can get anything out of it, like Blank Screen, maybe Blank Screen just needs to learn to relax. Blank Screen, Uncle Eddie, you should make this list today. I think it would help you with your Bullhorn Betty derangement syndrome and obsession with me. I'm just saying. And, it really could help you. It really could help you relax, because at the end of the day, it's not me that's the problem. When you actually pull back the blinders, you're probably going to see your part of that problem as opposed to me. Just saying. But I digress, right? I digress. But Blank Screen, I got a special just for you.
Andrea, aka Bullhorn Betty here. Look what I found. It looks like a lot of people on YouTube. Right here. Right here. This is a real ass right here. Like many people on YouTube. All you need to do is show an asshole a little love. Right? Right? Tell him. What you need to do? What you need to do? Huh? What you need to do? Oh, too many assholes on YouTube. Say it. Say it with me, baby. Say there's just too many people. Too many people on YouTube that look like you, huh? So the next time you want to be an ass, maybe you should come out here and hang out with the ass. Just saying. You want to be a jackass? There's your brother. Peace out. Bullhorn Betty style.
We think of you all the time, Blank Screen. So you get a lot of love here at the Bullhorn Betty channel, Uncle Eddie. Without you, our days wouldn't be as happy. We just wish you would be as happy as we are. Seems like you've got some issues. And we here at the Bullhorn Betty channel would love nothing more than to help you with your issues. So we read things like the language of letting go, so you can start letting go of yours truly and moving on with your life. Oh, goodness. Oh, goodness. Yeah. Don't know what to say. So anyways, guys, we went over, I went live yesterday. A few things were popping yesterday that just, really weren't good and caused a lot of, dust to fly last night. And, it's just, it's a little odd for me that there's two major aspects going. First of all, there is an Amber Alert active for Summer Wells. People, please do not call the Hawkins County Sheriff. Please do not call TBI. Please do not call the FBI to find out what happened to Summer Wells. Amber Alert, there's a glitch in the system. That's it. There's a glitch in the system. It's something so stupid and so simple to be spreading and just infiltrating the YouTube and people calling and distracting these law enforcement officers. Stop. Just stop. There's nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. We went through it yesterday, right? We went through it yesterday. The link has changed. They must have moved some things around on their website. It changed the URL. There was a URL that was not working on Google. That's it. That's it. No big deal. No big deal. It's, it doesn't need, people don't need to be calling TBI to ask them about something like this. It doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter. She's there. We've proved she's there last night. She's there. Quit calling them. Quit yelling at them. Quit changing the direction. They need to be focused on finding Summer Wells, not some stupid YouTuber out there calling them and disrupting their day over something that is simple as a glitch on their system. Stop. Just stop. Seriously. I know I'm probably going to get some hate from my statement of that, but I don't care. Stop. We love law enforcement, I'm very critical of law enforcement. What do you want? I think that the Wells should be in jail. I think that they should have had enough to arrest the Wells and put them in jail on the low-hanging fruit of the child welfare laws that they violated against all their children, but they're still out. There's nothing we can do. Let them find Summer so they can bring these assholes to justice. Excuse my language. I don't like cussing on here, but I've been cussing more. I don't know why. I'll work on it. Stop cussing once before I can do it again. Good morning, Miss Marshall. Lisa, it's nice to see you in here. PJ, Sonia, thank you. Nice to see you. Tanina, I think if I said your name correct. Good morning. Computers mess up constantly. Yeah. And not only that, but I built websites before, and it's like you move a page, it changes the URL, it changes its position. It's just something so stupid. And then, of course, it may be updated now. It may have been something that they did. Sometimes it takes GoDaddy, depending on who they're running their services through, it could take 24, 48 hours for any changes to catch up to Google. So it may be something like that happened. I don't personally know how the situation happened. All I can say is that she's there. The Amber Alert has not been removed. She's on the National Center for Exploited and Missing Children. You just have to search by her name. She's there. So quit calling them. Quit calling them. Just a glitch. Nothing to see over here. It's just a glitch. Good morning, I see you. Hope you're doing well. Gail, nice to see you. Brianna, nice to see you. So just stop. Now we're going to go over to another situation. This has nothing to do with the Summer Wells case. This is actually a missing person in Treasure Island that I was made aware of this morning. Good morning, Barbara. Good morning, TT. Crazy Nurse. Nice to see you. Because it I really truly believe that these people come in here just to incite something so they can get that clip for their clip channel. I think at the end of the day, we'll find out it truly is for monetary purposes. And that's really it. To beat up on me and monetary purposes for the clicks, the views, what they point the finger at us for. That's what I think it has to do with. I could be wrong. But I just don't understand why Blank Screen's so highly invested in this channel without being invested in this channel. I think about it. Blank Screen's got to come in here, just like every one of you, and watch a video, i.e. financially supporting this channel. I don't get it. Like, I just don't see me going through all of that for somebody I can't stand. Like, I don't do that. I don't watch any of these channels, right? These hate channels. I literally don't. People send me the link. And I look at the thumbnail and I move on. I don't even click on it because I refuse to give them 1/2 a cent in ad revenue. That's why I don't watch it, because I refuse to financially support them, period. So why are these people financially supporting me? But hey, thanks for the support. Thanks for the support, and keep the lights on for another month. So we have a missing 16-year-old girl that I was made aware of, and her name is Adriana Marie Plum. She is from, we'll just watch this. This is, looks like Jonathan. So Jonathan's already been hitting it this morning. I didn't realize this was his, but
Jonathan Lee Riches,
we'll play
AKA JLR. I'm going to throw up a flyer on the screen here right now. There is a missing 16-year-old named Ariana Marie Plum. She has been missing since Saturday, June 18th from Treasure Island, Florida.
Okay, so I don't want to play his. You guys can go over there and get his. I mean, it looks like he just put this out, so I don't want to, it's not even been 24 hours. So you guys, I didn't realize that was the first link that would come up would be JLR. I should have knew better, right? It should have knew better. He's always on top of stuff. But there is a missing girl in Treasure Island. Let's go and see if we can find something else that will talk about her just a little bit. Deep Halloween, Free, Beaten Plum, Deep. I don't know. This is kind of weird. I don't really see a whole lot. Let's see if she's in the news. So outside of that, I guess Jonathan is the one that got the information. Let me see if I can just do missing person. Maybe that's what I need to do. See if I can look at all. This is in Chicago. So I really don't see a whole lot coming up for her. Maybe I should take the Marie out and see if we can. But she is missing, and I don't know. But she is missing. Let's go back. I guess we're going to have to go back to Jonathan's because I can't find anything else on it. Sorry, Jonathan. Sorry. But clearly
Jonathan
she has
Lee
a
Riches, AKA JLR. I'm going to throw up a flyer on the screen here right now. There is a missing 16-year-old named Ariana Marie Plum. She has been missing since Saturday, June 18th.
I will have to find that. Obviously, there's a flyer, so I will go and do a little more digging into getting the flyer and posting it on my page. But there she is. Again, if you guys want to see the whole account of what happened, and get a little more information on the missing girl from Treasure Island, there it is. She works at the Sea Dog in Treasure Island. She left work and has not been heard from since. So we just want to make sure that she, gets some recognition and some attention. I may go on later this afternoon about this case. And don't forget, tonight, 7 p.m., we're having girls' night out, right? It's going to be women's happy hour. Men come too. Like we have when I was here, my mom went with me. We went to the women's happy hour, whatever. What was it called, Mom? I can't remember. Never mind. Don't respond in here. I don't want people knowing who you are. Don't respond in here. But I can't remember what, where the girls get the free drinks, and it's just like you can't shoot pool or sit down without somebody being up your crawl, one of those things. But either way, we love our men, our Bullhorn Betty men here. So we want to hear about your funny stuff too. Even though it's girls' night out, doesn't mean the guys can't come along. So yeah. So for all those homebodies out there that never get to go out and hang out with their friends and laugh and have a good time, we're going to do that here tonight. We're going to do that here tonight. I want you guys to think of funny stories. And we're going to have a call-in session tonight. And we're going to tell funny stories. And we're going to uplift each other. And we're going to have a great darn time doing it. That's what we're going to do. 7 o'clock tonight, Bullhorn Betty, Girls' Night Out, happy hour. Right? So think of the funny stories. We want to hear them. We had a guy, he got called in. Last week and told us his funny story of crab legs and why the restaurant quit having all you can eat crab. Then he got a little embarrassed and hung up, but that's okay. We still love him. But he came out and hung out with the girls. So we want all of our lovely men to be hanging out with the Flower Power tonight. We want to hear their funny stories too. We want to hear their funny stories. No, not only for girls. It's not only for girls. It's just a name. It's just a title. Every girls' night out I've had always had guys around. It's been years. It's been a couple decades since I had a girls' night out, but I digress. We love our men. We love our men. We love our men taking care of us. All good girls' night out needs security, right? So our lovely men in here is going to be our security, telling funny stories about us. Thank you. Yeah, I like the hat too. I like the hat too. If you don't like my sassy attitude, quit talking to me. So I hope all the guys come in. You might learn something about us crazy women, right? You might be like, oh crap, we can't hang out with these women no more. They're crazy. So we do have a missing girl in Treasure Island. She's a beautiful girl. I will find more information about her. I don't want to, obviously Jonathan just released this stuff, and I want to make sure that he gets the views necessary on his channel, because it's only fair. It hasn't been long enough for me to start pulling some stuff from him. So guys, if you want to hear any more about this case, I challenge you guys to go over to JLR's page and read up on it. This may be something that, who knows, I may be going out and searching for. I'm not sure yet. This is not too far from me. We advocate for the missing. We work very hard for the missing. We will go out in the heat, pass around flyers, and ask questions. Whatever we can do to help locate or find or provide any information or legitimate leads to law enforcement, we're happy to do. That's what we do. It's what we like to do. We want to be a help, not a hindrance. And even though people pass around misinformation about what we do, at the end of the day, so far, I have not ever had anybody yell at me for helping out in a case. Not law enforcement, not nobody. And, as a matter of fact, we get more thank yous out in the streets than we ever have doing wrong. And that includes law enforcement. So just saying. Quit spreading misinformation about Bullhorn Betty. Always got to come back to Bullhorn Betty. Lordy, lordy. What is wrong with people, folks? So getting on with it. How do you feel? We're hearing. Let's play this. Now, granted, it's got a video. A commercial in it. I'm not going to take the commercial off, but let's go here. Let's listen to this, and I want to talk to you guys about this. How do you guys feel about what you heard last night? I ran with it. I got the video up and out fairly quickly after the story broke with WJHL. And let's go ahead and pull this up. Yeah, we're going to get to it's Monkey's birthday today. I was actually going to put him on the thumbnail and
Garden of Life's doctor-formulated women's probiotics
decided
contain 40
not to.
billion probiotics that help your digestion so you can be a more regular human.
Just say poop. I think everyone knows that women poop. You poop, girl.
Look for Garden of Life, the #1 probiotic that helps women. #2.
Hi, Bullhorn Betty here. A lot of people have been asking about the Summer Wells reward money, and Churchill Rescue Squad rather was the overseer of the money, and they have this large amount of reward money that they were going to distribute to a nonprofit organization that advocated for children. This sounds a little odd. Listen here.
There have been some questions raised in regards to distributing the reward fund. We have been advised to and will be paying the reward fund money to the court and ask them to determine the proper resolution of the matter. Upon advice of counsel, that is all I can say at this time. What court is that? This is the statement that I'm making. At this time, it will be turned over to the court and ask them to determine the proper resolution of the matter. What's the amount of the money at this point? At this point, I don't have the most accurate, up-to-date account. The money is still in the account this time, and that's all I have. Thank you. I'm just confused here, Tim. What court are we talking about? Is there a legal matter here? At this point, that's all I can say.
So as you hear, they're turning this reward money over to the courts to have the courts decide where this money should go. So I'm unsure how this is going to play out, but it does signal to us that there's a potential court action for this money or where this money may be distributed to. But at this time, we don't have a lot of information. All we have is the fact that the Churchill Rescue Squad is now turning that reward money, which expired on the 1-year milestone of Summer Wells' disappearance. It's being turned over to the courts at this time. He didn't have the figures for the amount of money that's going to be turned over to the courts or the reason it was being turned over to the courts. So we'll watch this and we'll let each of you guys know what's going on. Pretty interesting stuff. Thought you'd be interested in it as well. God bless you.
Okay, let's see if we can get out of this before the new one pops up. We can. Stop, cancel. So there you guys have it, folks. It's a little evasive. He sounded distressed. There's a couple things that could be going on here. Nice to see you, Crime Stories Obsessed, Emma. Nice to see you over there in the UK visiting the pond, or visiting across the pond, rather. Nice to see you. So there's a couple things that, in my opinion, that could be going on here. And it could be just as simple as the board of directors couldn't make a determination as to what to do with this money. It could be just that simple. It could be nothing nefarious. All the funds are there. We go back to the original statement. There were two major amounts that, let me just see here. I know I read it this morning, and I'm sure it was from my 151 comment conversations. I wake up, everybody in the chats are having a good old time while I'm sleeping. I wake up and I'm like, how in the world am I going to get through all of these? Okay, so thank you. I got that, Anissa. We will be pulling that up here in just a second to talk about a little bit more about Ariana Plum on here. But there is some stuff here. Okay. Court suicide, the fate of the Summer Wells reward fund money. Again, it could just be very, very simple as to why they're turning it over to the court. So basically, there's laws that they have when they deal with reward money, and this is across the board with any county or government, and even if you're dealing with a landlord-tenant dispute, you're required, if you're going to go down that, say for non-payment because you're withholding payment because your landlord didn't do something, you need to be turning that money over to the court system, your regular monthly rent into the court system, into the registry of the court, so they can maintain those funds for you. This may be nothing big. It could be something major. We know that there was a gal, I can't remember her name, but her last name is Dykes, which are well known in that area, apparently squandered and stole money from the Churchill Rescue Squad. Just recently was arrested 3 months after, or 4 months, close to 4 months after Summer Wells went missing. And, didn't get a whole lot of time for her action, which was a little odd because of the embezzlement type charge. However, did it affect this money? Was this money part of the money that was stolen? There's a lot of speculation going out there because the fact that Tim Coop was so evasive in information. What I can tell you is what he did would have been expected. What do I mean by that? So whenever you have an attorney involved in a case, they tell you, they prepare you a statement and say, hey, you need to read this. Do not go off of what is on this page. And if that amount was not listed, he wouldn't have had it. I called Tim Coop, Matt Coop in the past by error, and I want to correct that. I'm talking about Captain Tim Coop. If you heard in the past, with some of the other stuff, I don't know why I keep calling him Matt, but it's obviously his name's Tim Coop. I'm sure he's dealing with something very stressful. Does that mean the money's gone? It doesn't. All it means at this point that we know about is that those funds have not been agreed to go somewhere. Maybe they're worried about legal implications. Maybe it was somebody calling and being, an a-hole and saying, well, if you don't turn this over to this organization, we're suing you. Who knows? And maybe they said, you know what? We don't want the headache of having to decide where this money's going. We're turning it over to the courts. We'll let the courts tell us where it needs to go. If it needs to go back to the owners, it goes back to the owners. If it needs to go to a nonprofit, it goes to the nonprofit. But you never know what that judge is going to decide. Are they going to keep that money for Churchill? I don't know. None of us do, right? So anything that we come up is speculative in nature. It doesn't make me feel nice, warm, and fuzzy inside that this money is being turned over to the courts, but in the grand scheme of things, I'd rather the courts be whole, especially if we think that there's some collusion or corruption or something going on with Churchill Rescue Squad. Me personally would be a heck of a lot more comfortable with those funds being in the registry of the court. Personally, I feel in comfort in knowing that they can't, mess with the money. Now, what's the amount of money that they're sending over there, right? I mean, the reward was for $74,000. Just because a reward is $74,000 or $76,000 does not mean all that money has been collected for. It means that, people have sponsored it or said that they would provide that reward money should something happen, and have obligated themselves to turn that money over at that time. Therefore, that money was never collected to begin with. It was just accounted for where they would send it once the reward money has been, somebody has come up to collect the money, i.e. Summers found the information provided by somebody. It could be that somebody is making a claim to that the reward money rather, for Summer. And they're saying, wait a minute, this was to find her. She hasn't been found. Well, no, you're not entitled to this money. And there may be an impending lawsuit because somebody may think that they provided information that moved this case forward and they're entitled to it. We don't know. They're being very vague because they have attorneys involved, and attorneys are telling them, don't talk about this. This is what you're allowed to say. Stick to this script and let the courts work it out. But it's still uneasy for many of us that have watched this, that, we're hoping that money would go to a nonprofit organization that advocates for children and the missing. And here we are finding out it's being turned over to the courts and not being after being promised. And a lot of people saying that they can't believe that this is going on. We knew that this reward money was only for 6 months. The Churchill squad and rescue actually extended that reward 6 months in an effort to help find Summer Wells. So they didn't have to do that to begin with, and they chose to. And now we're here where it has expired. They've, as an organization, have decided not to extend that award money again, and have decided to, instead of holding on to that money for even longer, decided that they were going to give it to a nonprofit organization. That has not happened. Instead, they have opted to turn it over to the courts. By them turning it over to the courts, it does do a couple things, in my opinion. One, now they are accountable for that money, and with the courts being involved, if there's any discrepancies with the funds, that they have in hand, or there was any mishandling of those funds, will now be a direct question for the courts to ask. There are a lot of good that comes from them turning this money over to the courts. The one thing I don't like is, what are the courts going to do with these funds? Are they going to require it to be returned back to the owners? I would think that, the main money is, there was 2 donors, one that donated $25,000 and one that donated $10,000, right? That's $35,000 that 2 people contributed. Almost 50% of the funds for the reward was garnered by only 2 people, or 2 businesses. I'm not sure which. You would think that it would be easy to reach out to those 2 people and say, hey, we have your funds. We didn't, accomplish what we needed to. Would you, one, like those funds back? Or would you like to delegate where you would like your funds to go? It seems like that would have been the path of least resistance. That would be the proper way to have handled this, in my opinion. But again, I don't know the legal obligation or the legal duty of the rescue squad and what they're required under law to do with that money. Maybe they're for hindered from doing that because of some statute in Tennessee. I don't know. I didn't look into it. But there are a lot of things that are possible, right? So let's see here. It is sad because, every time we deal with anything, and it's like, I even tell people don't realize this. Like, every time I go there, something happens to my car. Like, it's just like the voodoo. I don't know. I don't know. We need to pray over Hawkins County. We really do. We need to pray, man. They need prayer. They just need prayer. And is Rabbit in the house? There she is. Good morning, love bug. Hope everything's going well for you this morning. I tell you, she was talking on one of her lives about, she's just, thought about just hanging. I think every creator that has, it's on YouTube at one point or another has said, is it really worth all this? I'm ready to hang the hat up, right? But we keep going and going. And I told her she can't do that. She's my therapy. Whenever I need to unwind or just have a good time, where do we go? We go over to White Rabbit's channel. We love her voice. Her voice is so soothing and calming, and she's funny. They have a lot of good content on the on her page, so it's my therapy session. So what do I do when I'm ready to pull my hair out? I go visit White Rabbit. That's what I do. I go visit White Rabbit and get soothed. So you better not go. You better not go nowhere. There you go. Thank you. They thought I had a meltdown when I was ticked off at people taking stuff from Summer's Memorial. Man, White Rabbit not being on. I probably have my meltdown because she's what keeps me from having my meltdown. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, love you too. Love you too. Yeah, it's a fun place. I gotta be honest. I gotta be honest. Yeah, she's my therapy. Yeah, tell you, she's therapy. So, and we have fun. What can I say? We have fun. And she has a way of talking about sensitive topics and doing it with ease. And you know, she's good. She's good. And it's funny because you know, I was just talking to a couple of my mods. And you know, she was talking about on one of hers about you know, rogue mods or something like that. You know, we've all had a few rogue mods and stuff like that. Not that I had any recently. You know, we did a lot of stuff to protect the channel, and it's like, you know, she was like, you know, what's the worst that can happen? They delete some people. You got to go into your back, you know, into the studio and undelete those people. And it's like, you know, the bell went off the top of my head, and she's right. Who cares? Cares. So now I just monitor my block list, make sure people aren't being blocked unnecessarily. But it's so funny because you need somebody to dumb it down for you, right? You need somebody to dumb it down for you. Like, this is not really that big of a deal. It's just a channel. You can't break the channel. It may take a little legwork to get it back, but you can't break it. Hang on, right? So anyways, we love White Rabbit. Nice shout out to you. I hope you're doing well today. But you know, with this whole money, it's got people boiling over because, you know, it's like some people saw this coming. Some people saw this coming. I didn't see it coming. I expect, you know, governmental agencies to conduct themselves well, but you know, there are some places and things out there that just they don't handle their business properly. You know, they just don't handle their business. And this could be one of them, right? This could definitely, without a doubt, hands down, be one of the organizations that allowed somebody to manage money that mismanaged it and was corrupt. And now they're saying, oh crap, we need to turn this over to the courts and let the courts deal with this. We don't want anything to do with it. It's possible. I don't know. I saw as much as everybody else saw with Tim Coop's statement. You know, it's got to be tough. I mean, think about it. He had an uphill battle. He was trying to search for this little girl, and now he's dealing with things like accounting. Like, searchers don't want to deal with things like accounting. We have people that do the accounting work for us, so we don't have to worry about it, right? And then when we have the person that's supposed to be the professional with the accounting, you know, greasing their own pockets, now it just puts a whole another level of dirt on such a great organization. And it's sad. And then and everybody knows on here, right? What can I can't stand anything more than a liar and a thief. A liar and a thief, right? I just can't, I hate a liar and I hate a thief. And those are my two pet peeves. I've got a lot of pet peeves, but those are, if you want to ruin a friendship with me, lie to me, or steal from me. I mean, I'll be cordial. I'll be cordial with you, but you'll never be there with me again. You know, I will never, I'll keep my distance, you know. Doesn't mean I got to be nasty, but we done. You know, there's a lot of other things, but those are the two things. And if I feel that if you did it once, you'll do it again, there is no second chances for me. There are many times I do give people second chances because nobody's perfect. People make mistakes. And it's how they handle those mistakes is how I handle them moving forward. If they acknowledge that, you know, I screwed up, I didn't know what to do, I made a mistake, I won't do it again. And I believe them, second chances are freely given. Third chances are freely given. Nobody's perfect. But it's the people that refuse to acknowledge their wrongdoing and just expect a free pass. You ain't getting it from Bullhorn Betty. You're not getting it. You went too far. You have not learned your lesson. You haven't taken responsibility for your action. No, it's not everybody else's fault. It's yours. And I don't want anything to do with it. But I don't feel like that's the issue here. Yeah. For the love crew, what can I say? Yeah, the tension. Daggone. Family just not loving him. That's all right. We'll be your extended family, Uncle Eddie. we know you're only throwing a fit because nobody's paying attention to you. So we'll stop and say good morning and say hi. And even though we don't like Uncle Eddie, we love him. Everybody knows we love Uncle Eddie. He's family. Can't choose your family, right? Can't choose your. Oh, actually, I think blank screens multiple people. I think that's the whole. You guys have no idea. This stuff is insane. If we actually got into the nuts and bolts of these trolls and troll organizations, and that's what they are, troll organizations, it would blow your mind. It really would. And I'm not going there. I now have a good understanding. I now know that I probably will never know who blank screen is, right? It's just, it is what it is. It is what it is. But you know what? You treat them with kindness. Eventually, they'll realize that they're the problem and not you. Who knows? There's been a lot of people that have come up to me. You know, when we first came out here, and everybody was so nasty and mean to us, and tried to say we were this way or that way and stuff like that. Over time, just doing what we do, being who we are. Me being myself. A lot of those people have taken their blinders off and realize I'm not that horrible person, and actually have apologized to me for being so mean to me. There's been a lot of people that have done that. And you know what? And I understand, and I don't hold it against them. And, we grow, right? We grow. So we just keep doing what we're doing. People will see what they need to see and what they want to see. And if they support me, then they'll be here and support me. Yeah. Yeah, I believe it. Yeah, I believe it. Like I said, people don't understand. There's a whole organizations that do this, and it's sad. And it should be banned from YouTube. And YouTube, believe me, has the algorithms to put it into if they so choose. So clearly, it's not YouTube that truly wants this to be a platform for all. If they did, they would make sure that these types of things didn't happen, but they do. And that's all we can do. But they don't affect me anymore, and they don't affect this channel anymore. And, we're getting out of our, when we first started here, there was the ad suitability and stuff like that. Like literally, YouTube is well aware of the situation. So we're getting out of those issues like within 15, 20 minutes, as opposed to having to wait half days anymore. So we're doing good. We're doing good. No harm, no foul. Thank you. Everybody loves the hat. What does it say, Birdie? I haven't considered another extension. I think that's possible too. I was only thinking about the fund allocation. Yeah. And I'm wondering about that. Why didn't they have a plan? I mean, it's all about planning. And many of you guys know, whenever I deal with anything, I don't have a plan A or a plan B. I usually have a plan A, B, C, D, and E. Like I've got contingencies all the way through. And I do that because in my life experience, it tells me that things just don't go the way as I plan. So I think of literally every which way it could possibly go, and I make a plan for that. And it's a little disheartening that we have, Churchill Rescue Squad. This is not the first time they've dealt with this. They should have had these contingency plans in place. They should have had a place already ready to go as to where these funds would be donated to should the fund survive the required reward time. They should have had it. They should have put it out there. It shouldn't have been, just in my opinion. And of course, this is hindsight's 2020, where we can think of 1,000 things that could have been done better, right? And they didn't do it. People just don't think ahead, and that's okay. Maybe they were hoping she would be found and they wouldn't have to deal with it, but you always prepare to deal with it. And think of how well it would be if they, out the gate, when they were doing this reward fund, they said, okay, this reward fund is being set up for summer wells. However, if the reward fund is not collected by XYZ date, we are going to be distributing any money that's been collected to this particular organization. Or you can have your option to have that money returned to you. Click here if you want it to go to this organization, or click here if you want us to return the funds to you. It seems to me that that would have been the most appropriate way to handle a situation like that. But again, there may be some kind of regulation that prevents them from doing that. I don't know. I didn't look into it. There could be a lot of reasons. Good morning, Crime Bee. Honestly, I didn't like you at first. However, I was never mean. Now I've listened to you. We have things in common, and you inspire all. Thank you. That's so sweet. Thank you. Yeah, exactly. The first was supposed to go to the child advocacy group, and then got extended for a year, which is up, right? But it would have been nice that they had their stuff, that they let the people that were supporting this know up front that, hey, there is a possibility. We all know that there are possibilities dealing with these cases that the reward money may go uncollected. What do? You know that that's a possibility. Just go ahead and tell people what you plan on doing up front. And then there's no trying to figure it out on the back end. If the board of directors up front said, we are going to be sending it, just for example, this is not the organization that they had indicated. I just can't remember the name of the organization that they had indicated. But just think if they said, we're collecting this money. This money is to be a reward money for Summer Wells. However, if it's uncollected, we're going to be sending all the collected funds over to the National Center of Exploited and Missing Children. Now the people know, they have all the information that they need to know, that if they donate this money, if it's not collected, we know it's going to a great, outstanding group like the National Center of Missing and Exploited Children. Or they could have said, if this money does not, get collected, we're going to send it over to EquiSearch, which has put a lot of man hours and a lot of search techniques into this case. Whatever the nonprofit is, they should have had that information done up front. But again, we're looking at it in the lens of perfection, and there's nothing perfect, and people make mistakes. So I do want to kind of give them the benefit of the doubt. But again, it's kind of hard because so many people came out and was concerned about these funds being collected by Churchill Rescue Squad to begin with. And then now we have this issue going on the back end, almost bringing truth to the concerns of the people that were, discussing the Churchill Rescue Squad being the holder of these funds, if you will. So it's a little hard, Did somebody foresee this going on? Did somebody really not trust a rescue squad this much? And is that rescue squad a nonprofit? Could that rescue squad have said, we're collecting this funds, and if they're not spent, we're going to, take the money and utilize it to buy equipment so the next missing child will have better equipment to go out and find them? I think people, if they knew where this money was going, should the reward not be collected, would have been a little more easy if they knew what was going to happen should the money not be collected. Nobody ever discussed it. And, we're leaving it to the board of directors. Now the board of directors may be saying, well, half of them may be saying we want it to go to this organization. Half of them might be saying they want it to go to this organization, and they can't get a majority consensus on the board of directors. And they're just saying, hey, at this point, our time is ticking down because they have a statute requirement to do something with those funds. And if they're meeting, I think it's like 30 days. And if they can't figure out what they're doing with that money within 30 days, they are required by law to actually turn those funds over to the court because they're not allowed to, because they have not come to a consensus as to what to do with the money, and they're running out of time, and they don't want to be in violation of the law. So in an abundance of caution, they're turning the money over to the courts. It could be all of those reasons. It could be none of those reasons. I don't know. The captain's tone and body language showed he was visibly upset about whatever is going on with the funds. I agree. There is some body language issues. He seemed very uncomfortable, very tense. It seemed like something wasn't right. I have to agree with that. Yes, guys, please don't forget to show some love for the Bullhorn Betty channel. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Now, if you guys are not receiving the notifications on YouTube, make sure the bell is filled in on all. Not, they think they have priority or, none, personalized, and all. Turn that bell to all. If that doesn't work, unsubscribe and resubscribe so you're getting your notifications for this channel and for the lives. And don't forget, tonight at 7 p.m., we're going to have some laughs, folks. You don't want to miss it. You don't want to miss it. You're going to want to call in. You're going to want to tell her your funny stories. Guys, grab your wine. Let's have fun tonight. We seemed to have fun the other night, and people really did enjoy it. It was really, truly food for the soul. I really felt uplifted. I felt, by the time I was done, I just felt good. And, we talk about some horrible stuff on here, with these cases and, the victims. It's sad. It's just sad. And sometimes we just need to break away from the sadness, break away from the serious and just let it all go. Just shake it off. And so we're going to do that tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to have some fun. We're going to have some laughs. And I want you guys to all partake. Let's enjoy our company just for a couple hours. And you guys will be anonymous on the phone, so you guys can tell your stories, your funny stories in peace and privacy. We can all laugh at you. You can laugh at me. We can laugh at each other. We got some great stories, man. And it was so funny because, last week, I remember I was sitting there and I'm like, I've got to think of a funny story. I can't think of one funny story. And then people would call in and they were telling their story. And I'm like, oh, that reminds me. And then next thing I know, I'm thinking of funny stories that were that had something to do with, just spark stuff up in you. And you remember things that you forgot about. And it was fun. Yeah. Unlatch the bras, the stick out. What does it say? Get the stick out of your hair. Get the stick out, let your hair down and have fun. Exactly. Sorry, I almost butchered that. Yeah. So party tonight on the Bullhorn Betty channel. We're going to have fun. So I'm going to open up the phone lines here for you guys real quick. We're already almost through the segment. And I want your thoughts on what you think about this money. I mean, it is a little concerning for me, and his body language. Like, we cannot dispute that there appeared to be something seriously wrong. And why wouldn't he have a round figure about how much money was in that account that was being turned over to the courts? And they asked him what court. Like, he didn't even realize what court. Like, is it Sullivan County Court? Is it Hawkins County Court? Like, where are you turning this money over to? And because it wasn't written down for him, he didn't know how to respond. And he referred that this is my statement, If it wasn't on that piece of paper, he wasn't saying it. And that's, it's not really as concerning for me as it is for other people, because I truly believe that, he was advised by the attorney there. Don't say anything. Do not go off these four corners of this page. If they ask you questions that's not written down here, don't answer. And I think it kind of got him in a little bit of hot water because people asked him about the money, and he looked at his piece of paper. The amount of money is not on there. So he didn't answer. It'd be something as simple as that, but we don't know. And at this point, it's all speculative. We need to monitor that. See, my hat got smushed, and I don't like it. It's not. The U is off just a little bit. There we go. But, we can't, we can speculate, but it doesn't really do any good, because what we're going to probably speculate is going to be way off base. It might be spot on. It just makes you feel a little weird when people were complaining about this, months ago, when all the collection of the funds were being collected by the Churchill rescue squad. And then we're here a year later, and now money is being turned over to the courts and not being deposited into a child advocacy program as promised. And, there's nobody willing to say how much money is really truly in that account. So it's just, I don't know. It's a little concerning. So let me open up the phone lines. I'm interested in hearing, what you guys feel should happen to this money. How do you feel knowing we're here a year later? This is what's happening. Like, where is, where is the fund? Why are they doing this? Why were we promised one thing and they're doing another thing? It just doesn't make sense. I'm curious what your thoughts are. We all have our thoughts about this. I'm curious what yours are. So call in. Let me know how you feel about this. Here is the call-in number. We are waiting with bated breath. The phone lines are on. Again, what are your thoughts about Summer Wells reward money today? Yeah. And it's been plastered all over the news too. But they addressed that issue. Does that mean there's ongoing issues? Good question. Many people believe that. But again, it comes down to this. There was a lot of people that, I can't remember what it is, where you say, I'm going to sponsor this amount of money if she's found. But they never actually send the check in. They just say that they will send it. They guarantee that money, that if she's found, they will send it in at that time, which increases the reward money for the person that gives information, for any information that may be found or locate Summer Wells. So even though the money hasn't been sent to Churchill Rescue Squad, they have guaranteed that money to be there should somebody go to collect the reward. So just because there was a $76,000 reward on that flyer doesn't mean they actually had collected that full 70 some odd $1,000 that was on the reward. It just may be guaranteed by certain people that when that time comes, they will pay that money. That is, that does happen. That does happen. Oh, nice, little dove. Nice to see you. Thank you. The courts have been since the first step. After 6 months, it sat in the bank under Summer's name, then goes to Child Advocacy Program, extended for a year. Sorry, guys. My allergies have been insane here lately. Insane. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I got a new allergy almost because it's been bothering me so much. And usually it's, ragweed or oak pollen. But here, I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. It's killing me. My eyes, my nose, everything. It's been awful. Yeah, Tim said all money in bank. Yeah, but that Tim, you're talking about Tim Coop. Yeah. I'm playing devil's advocate. I haven't watched this money. I just heard about this money. Many of you guys know our team didn't really start getting involved in it until after Gabby Petito, and that was after October. After October, we made our first trip. We made our trip to Kylen Schulte and Crystal Turner in October, came back. We were out there for Kathleen Moore, and then we left Kathleen Moore heading to Tennessee for our first time in December. This is Betty.
Hi, Andrew. My question is, with the money and the reward, why can't it go to the boys? Why can't a trust be set up? Nobody ever talks about these boys and their future and the rest of their life.
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure. See, a lot of people don't realize there's when like reward money is collected, there's probably a state statute that explains what can and cannot happen with that money in a governmental standpoint. So I haven't looked into it at all. But if it's absent of regulations on what to do with this money, that may be what why they can't give it to the boys or set up a trust in the boys, because there may be a state statute that says, you can either donate it to a nonprofit or turn it over to the courts within 30 days. We don't know. We don't know. And there might not be anything like that. And they may very well could have done that. I personally don't know, but it's a good question.
Yeah, that's what bugs me the most. People complain about YouTubers making money, fundraisers, all this money made off of the name of summer, but nobody ever put like a trust or done anything for these boys for when they turn 18 or when they turn 21 to make a trust. Nobody ever did anything for them.
Mm-hmm.
Just, I don't know, that bugs me.
Yeah, it does.
For the boys' future.
Yeah, it does. And they need a lot of help. They need a lot of wraparound services moving forward. They've got a lot of work that they need to have done, that they need to do in order to recover from what they're dealing with right now. And you are right. I don't know what is preventing them. And maybe that's why they put it into the courts. Maybe the courts will determine that this money needs to go to the boys. I mean, we don't know. I don't know what the regulations are on there. I'm sorry. I'm like having a major allergy attack right now. So I apologize. But I personally just don't know. But it's a good question. It's a good question, and definitely something that maybe we should need to be advocating for.
Yeah, that's all I was calling for, just to put that out there, that nobody ever talks about money for the boys' future, and maybe, something can be done or questions can be asked or it can be looked into.
Yeah.
I think that would be great for the reward's going to get canceled, that it should go to them as a trust for when they hit a certain age.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't see any other better option. Sure, the community or the county, but I mean, the brothers, the boys, I think they deserve it the most.
They deserve it the most. Absolutely. And, that was what, our team has always said from out the gate, is if we were ever on the ground and we found information that led to, the reward money, we would never collect the reward money. We would never feel good. It would either go to a nonprofit. And in this case, we would want to see it going to the boys. But see, a lot of people may not want it to go to the boys for one or two things until the boys are fully removed from the custody of their parents. Maybe they are concerned that there would be mishandling of that funds should they ever go back to their parents. I don't know if that's true or not.
That's why I mean like a legal trust where they can't touch it until they're of age of 18 or 21.
Right, right. So that would be the only thing I would say. But yeah, that's a great idea and a great question. And I'm curious to find the answer for that. Maybe that's something that I'll do a request, a public record request for, to find out, because I don't want to disrupt, the rescue squad or, governmental stuff right now, especially when we're trying to find answers with summer. But, public records request is more of a benign way of finding the information without disrupting the processes of the day. You know what I'm saying? So I will look into getting some record requests out there. I may need the help of somebody, a Tennessee resident, because they like to have laws that prevent, but I'm working on that too, because some of these entities get federal funds, and I would think that they'd have to fall under federal guidelines for FOIA as well, as opposed to their state requirements, because they're receiving federal funds. I got to look into that as well, so I can force some information to be released. So we'll see.
Yes, thank you. I'm just throwing it out there. Maybe somebody can get some answers.
Yeah, I will definitely try to look into it and see what I can make from it. But yeah, that's a great question. And if they can't decide on a nonprofit to send it to, why not set up a trust for the kids? Why not?
That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you so much. No summer, no peace. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Call back again. We love our audience.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So yeah, that's a great question. I'm sorry, guys. Let me take care of this real quick, and I'll be right back with you. My nose is driving me. Sorry, I shouldn't have done that. I keep forgetting about that. Sorry, folks. Sorry. This is Betty.
Hello, this is ZZT.
Hey, ZZT, what's shaking, baby?
My question about the money. I knew there was only like $34,000 literally in the fund, but they had pledges up over 75.
Pledges, that's what where they guaranteed. Yes, that's what I meant.
But I don't think those donors are actually going to divvy up. But my question is, I saw some comments about mismanagement or scandal or
Yeah, there was. They had a person that was in charge of funds that embezzled a lot of funds from the church rescue squad.
They're having to dissolve. I know, and you know from your background that a charitable organization has to dissolve if there's any kind of criminal activity.
Yeah.
That's probably why they have to go through the courts and let the court decide what to do with that money.
Oh, yeah, good point. Good point. Yeah, I'm not sure. But yeah, that's a great point. I don't know one way or another what they should or should not be doing. I don't know.
Well, I don't know Tennessee law. But
I don't either. I mean, it's been,
sure.
I can tell you they don't follow, I mean, even their own laws. I mean, I looked up the penal code for these child welfare laws and they should, like the Welsh should be criminally charged with misdemeanors and felonies all over the place. And they haven't been charged yet. And that's just for the endangerment of the children, the child welfare crimes.
By the way, I just love that hat.
I know.
It reminds me of something my daughter bought about 6 months ago. We were on a trip, but I just love it.
Yeah.
And that's your color.
Pink.
That is your color.
So.
But back to the money. I think at this point the court does need to decide what to do, and I'm almost positive the judge will decide on a trust fund.
Let me ask you, and that's what I'm, I hope that they do decide to do something for the boys with this money because of the yes, crockpot meatball. I realized I made a mistake and I'm a human being. I will edit it out. You need not worry. Hold on just 1 second, ZZT. You need not worry about what goes on my channel. I've never seen your face before, never seen your name before. I could care less what you think about this channel. Goodbye. Goodbye. These people drive me crazy. I hate the hate. Why can't people just love?
All right, babe. My daughter's coming for a visit and I'm cleaning house.
Ah, gotcha. Yeah, I'm going over to my bestie, my Bessie and Tessie. Why are you cleaning your house for your daughter? Tell her to get her ass over there and clean your house for you.
Oh.
Just joking.
I got an invite to come to her house, but
I bet you did. I call my mom all the time. Hey, can you come over and help me? Can you come over and help me? Can you clean this house for me? Can you bring me some coffee?
Well, you sound like my daughter. You sound just like my daughter. But I just love the jackass clip.
I know. We're going to have to play it again.
That jackass clip.
We're going to have to play it for Meatball, crock-pot meatball.
All right, babe. Talk to you later.
All right, ZZT. You take it easy.
I'm going to be hot. It's 10 o'clock and it's already 95 degrees out here.
I am in my bathing suit. I'm ready to go relax by a pool. Do you have a pool? Maybe you should go take a dip in the pool.
Honey, I have a pool, and yesterday I did go dipping, clothes and all, because I cut 3/4 of an acre of grass.
Ooh.
And did all the trimming, edging, weed whacking. I just went and jumped in my clothes.
I need to send you my address. I bet you do better yard work than I do.
Well, I do live in Florida, so if anybody wants to dox me, they can dox me.
Nobody's going to dox you.
Talk to you later, babe.
All right, see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Even people in the channel know that, no matter what I accidentally popped up here as somebody's calling in and showed numbers, but it's hard because you get, this system, like when I take myself off, it pops the other screen up without me knowing about it. So I'm still working on it, folks. So I apologize. I'm not trying to throw your business all out there on the YouTube streets, but it happens. This is Betty.
Include.
Hey. People, do you love that? They call up there, scream something out. Oh, you must be so proud of yourself. These people are insane. They literally got something wrong with their head. Seriously wrong with their head. There's a lot of mental illness. We need to have a session on mental illness. We need to go through some of the stuff we see from these people with their obsessive compulsive stuff, which, there's a lot of people out there with obsessive compulsive disorders, but this is not obsessive compulsive disorder. This is just an obsession. Seriously, just an obsession. So folks, listen, if you guys don't want to call in and talk about this case, I'm going to wrap it up. We don't know what's going on with this money. We are going to find out what's going on with this money. We are going to work very hard in getting down to the bottom of how much money was actually collected as opposed to pledged, how much money was in their account, how much money was turned over to the courts, and what is going on. We're also going to be diving through tomorrow a little deeper in this new case about this young woman that disappeared in Treasure Island, and take a look. I know people are so childish, but that's okay. That's okay. It's not... Let's see what Muscles and Mascara is saying here. The rescue squad is turning it over from being accused as they have been from day one. God forbid they try to do a right thing contrary to what everyone thinks. We love Summer. Oh, absolutely. And I'm not saying that. That's why I'm bringing it up, and I went through, if you go back to the beginning of this, I went through some of the reasons why they would be turning it over to the courthouse and things of that nature. It could be very, very benign. It could be something more serious. We don't know. It's speculative in nature. This is Betty. Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Goodbye. Somebody's not there. So yeah, no, I absolutely, I understand it wasn't aimed at me, but yeah, that's absolutely, I absolutely understand. It's, one of those things, but, people will be able to speculate on this because they are being so vague. You know how YouTube is, Muscles. I mean, we speculate when we don't have enough information. We try to get, bounce stuff off the walls. And because of the past and because that Miss Dykes was, arrested for embezzlement, didn't get crap for time, but arrested nonetheless, I think it makes people feel a little uneasy. This is Betty.
Hey, Betty, it's Steph. How are you?
Hey, Steph. How are you? What are you thinking about all this?
Well, I missed some of the conversation because I had to call my sister called, but I'm catching up a little bit now, and it's about the reward money, correct?
Yep.
I think it's a big mess. Just like this whole entire case has been. I'm not surprised at all that it's going on. It's just another hook in the story. I don't think anybody really knows except for the people that, I guess law enforcement does know who did it, right?
Mm-hmm. I just don't think they're going to be getting themselves. I mean, me personally, I try to look at both. With them it being such a touchy issue with that lady being arrested that embezzled from them already, right. I just, I think they're going in. Maybe the reason why he was so uncomfortable with it is because, just like the roommate for Stephanie Shenefield, he was acting odd because he was so concerned that they were going to accuse him because of his bad record. That right. He may have done something. And I gotta say, my radar was up with him because of he seemed normal out front, had no, he even said, they're probably gonna look at me first because of the way I look and stuff like that. And I understood that. But it wasn't until we got into the interview with the other girls and him constantly trying to redirect the conversation and do all this stuff right. that it started putting those red flags up. And it was just because he was having internal feelings of, all eyes are going to be on me because of who I am and my past, and they're going to start trying to think I did this to my roommate, and I think he started acting out because he thought, his brain told him he was going to be accused, and maybe that might be the right. same scenario over there at the Churchill Rescue Squad, where they think because of this corruption that happened, not too long ago. I mean, it was not even a year ago that this happened, that she was arrested for it. Maybe they were just concerned. Maybe people are calling up saying, "Where's the money? Prove the money." Da 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 da. And they might be saying, right. they may just throw their hands up and say, screw this. This is insane. Let's just give it to the courts. Let them deal with it. We're out of it.
Well, just look at it from like the whole entire view. This case has so much in it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's so much craziness.
Yeah.
That like nobody wants to get involved in fear of anything. Like, look at the people getting hacked just for looking into Summer Wells' case.
Guys,
I mean, look at
anybody that's out there, hold on. You just brought up a great point. Anybody out there, if people send you photos by text message, or like I will click on a URL, like a YouTube link occasionally. But I usually, if I see the title of it, I'll go search it. I don't click on anything on my emails. No photos. If you send me a photo through a Gmail, most likely I will not look at it unless it's a trusted person that I speak to regularly, like Anissa or Robin. Or Melody or somebody like that, or you. I open your stuff, but I'm very cautious of all the scams that can happen on the computer. So you guys got to do your own due diligence and make sure that you're not opening these videos and these photos that are downloaded. They could be viruses.
MacBook Pro.
Yeah.
Brand new, and this was years ago. And I was randomly checking my email in the middle of the night, and I don't know what, and I'm really good at this stuff. Usually I don't fall for it, and I don't know if it's because I was tired or what. I clicked on a email that I thought was a friend of mine, and I clicked it, and I clicked the link like an idiot, and it shut my whole entire computer down. The computer never turned back on ever after that. So yeah, no, that's real.
Yeah.
That is real. I lost everything in that computer.
Yeah,
and,
hacking, stacking, and it can do a lot of damage to the computer and cause it not to work and things of that nature.
Well,
and again, I'm very cautious and cognizant.
Bank account and all that, but no, that reward money though, I don't know. I just think here's another crazy thing to this case. Another crazy. You know what I'm waiting for, to be honest with you. I think the balls, not just one ball, balls are gonna drop when Don Wells gets out of jail.
Yeah.
If he gets out. I mean, I know everybody's throwing it back and forth.
I just think at this point, if there was meat to the bone, and especially since he had confession type of language in that phone call with Mary that was recorded, that could be definitely turned into police. If they have not charged him yet with the SA allegations from his stepsisters, at this point, it makes me wonder if those will come to fruition. And I know a lot of people are hoping and wishing for it, but at this point, you would think that it came shortly after Summer was missing that the stepsisters decided to break their silence.
Like 9 months ago or so.
Yeah.
And I thought that too. Like, if there's nothing going on yet, unless they're, and this is my other thing, unless they're using it to throw over his head, like, look, tell us what happened. Tell us what happened, and we won't even go into this.
But I'm not sure that a crime that happened in Tennessee, something that happened in Utah, I'm not sure something from another state can be used as leverage because, unless the states are working together and putting together a deal. And maybe that's the FBI aspect because it's interstate. He's in one state. I really don't know the implications for that. I'm not.
So does anybody talk to him since he's been in jail, like on Vine Link? Or
I know JLR sent him a couple of letters. I don't know if he's responded to those letters in writing. I think if he would have responded, I'm pretty sure that those would have been broadcasted. I know I tried to meet with him. I was on the approved list to speak to him. I tried multiple times, and he would again stand me up and not show up to those. So, I to the best of my knowledge, outside of the letters that we're seeing that could potentially be his letters or his statements, we don't even know if that's true because nobody's heard from him. And the people we're getting this information from, I'm sorry, I just don't trust as a reliable source.
I find it weird that he's not saying anything though.
No, nobody is anymore. And that
Yeah,
comes back to what Ronnie Lawson said, that they are not cooperating and have lawyered up.
Yeah, and I don't believe Candace is pregnant. I think that's a hoax.
Yeah,
That was
there's a
started.
lot
I
of
don't think that's real.
misinformation being spread across YouTube, and no matter how we want to point the finger and say it's this person spreading, it's that person spreading, it's that person, it's the people that are throwing people that couldn't, like there was that Robert Sherfree Jr. person that wasn't even in and around the Wells property on June 15th. He lives in Kingsport. And they're throwing him out as if he was in the area and went up there and took her because he's got some computer issues with, that he was charged with and stuff like that. It's like, this guy wasn't even near the property at the time. Why is he being brought in? Those people are that are advocating for this man are the misinformation machines that I believe,
Exactly. And it is true. It messes it all up. It makes Ellie like look in the other places, or I'm sure there are too, like, if we get one more phone call, we're gonna like just scream, I just couldn't imagine. And I just feel bad for you guys, even like anybody involved in this case. I actually feel bad for, even down I hate to even say, even down to like Candace Wells, like, because we don't truly know if she's innocent or guilty until I believe
until the charges are levied upon her, which I'm surprised something's not levied upon somebody at this point for something.
Exactly. That's where I'm at. So I can't believe Don Wells hasn't spoken. Nobody's speaking. Like, that's just strange. But even if she's innocent or guilty, that woman can't even like walk out in public.
Right.
And if she wanted to go to one of those vigils, she couldn't have went.
Yeah, it's sad, and even though I invited her, I would just think that, and I wanted her to be there just so she had an opportunity to, celebrate her daughter's life too. And I just wanted people to leave her alone. But the question is, I would have left her alone. I would have left her alone so she could have, had her time to grieve her daughter, whether she did it or not. I'm not saying that, whether they're responsible or not. I'm not saying that they don't miss their daughter and they're not grieving for the loss of their daughter. I mean, people do horrible things and feel sorry about the actions they've done. But would everybody else have left her alone? I don't know. There's a lot of
some of
intense emotions.
Some of us aren't.
Yeah.
Some of us have compassion. Some of us don't. I mean, look at the situation with Ernie Shell. I mean, that was even though Ernie has his own issues, that was also brought in by, or pushed by other people.
Yeah.
Without those other people, he might not necessarily reach that complete psychosis. Who knows, though?
I think that man I think people knew he had problems. I think they misjudged his problems as being, substance in nature. I think we're finding out that it most likely isn't substance in nature, that he truly has, and they pushed him over the edge. They pushed him too far, and they continue to do so. And I'm glad to see him off YouTube for a little minute, just so he can heal and work on himself and come back to the Ernie Shell that we all have learned to love and enjoy watching.
And be healthy.
Yeah.
Mentally, physically, all of it.
But I just think people need to leave. If you don't like what a creator's, don't watch it. Like, what is so wrong with just changing the channel? Go into a place like there's 1,000. We're gonna pull it up here in just a second. I'm gonna show you guys how much stuff there is out there that you can watch. As opposed to somebody you don't like watching. Why would you waste your time watching a content creator you do not like watching? It seems to me insane.
Does a horror movie thing. He critics horror movies. I love him, but I don't watch his channel.
Right.
I don't watch it, but I don't dog his channel either.
Yeah.
I hate horror movies.
I just move. If I don't like something, you know what I do? I don't watch it. It's just that simple.
I don't talk to people I don't like. I don't watch things I don't like either. So, But no, did you see in Daisy's chat, or, the Crime Critter Farm chat, that like her sister knows Ernie Shell, right?
Mm-hmm.
I guess it had to have been Daisy talking about it, that Ernie Shell's mother actually was schizophrenic.
Yeah, when it was the thing I had, and I don't want to go into his medical history. That's for him to tell his stuff. But I did go into the chat. What concerned me is him telling the people, somebody's following me. I know they're not really following me, but they're following me, and that's when I kind of started saying, if I removed what I, because it did look like a drug psychosis type of episode, but mental illness can look the same way. So when I removed the thought that it could be a substance issue and moved on with what else could it be, something was very glaring and that was what came to my mind. I've seen it before. I was in a when I was getting clean from the substances that I was on back in my 20s. I think it was back in 2007. I lived in a sober living environment home and around people. And some of those people had, mental illness. And one of those ladies was schizophrenic and did have a lot of the same signs that we are seeing and hearing with Ernie. And, it's not funny, but we do make light of it. Even, his friends, we make light of it, and we try to change the direction of the conversation so the light's not on him, and we're just hoping that Ernie comes back to Ernie.
And he will. I got a friend who is paranoid schizophrenic, and that's kind of how I knew. Even when they were throwing it around about the drugs and stuff, like I kind of was like, no, there's more to it.
I honestly, I was drinking the Kool-Aid because I'm like, I've seen this action before too, and
I did too at first, but then he was doing things like after like maybe the second or third time of watching him do that, you could actually watch him build up. You could see his mania go into effect, and you could watch it build up for because it takes a few days for schizophrenic person to get to the point where Ernie did.
Yeah.
And my one friend, he's paranoid schizophrenic, and like I saved his life. That's how we're friends, but it's another story for another day. But he lives a normal life now, and now he had to go into an institution for a second, just like kind of like how Ernie is.
Yeah.
He had to go get reevaluated and get put back together.
And I hope his friends that are into the green and, know stuff, if his doctor says that he needs to be on medication, please advocate for him taking his medication every day. I know, there's a lot of people, I'm not into big pharma stuff, but there are things that I do believe cannot be healed from
without
you wishing that it's healed. There's got to be more that goes in on it.
Gallbladder thing, because I thought, like the green thing, I thought I can heal that gallbladder on my own. After my divorce, I'm drinking also. I almost died from it because I was ignorant.
Yeah.
So no, absolutely.
We have to be smart,
listen to your doctor.
We have to be smart, and we have to listen to the doctor. That's just my my thought on it. And, I hope, even I know there's a lot of people out there that love and care for Ernie Shell. And if his doctor's saying he needs to be on a medication, please advocate for him taking that medication
sometimes
properly.
That medication is, like you're saying, absolutely needed. Like some people, they throw out, this kid has ADD and this kid has ADD, but really, this kid has something. Really, this kid has a sleeping problem. Like for me, like I was diagnosed with narcolepsy, but they thought I was ADD growing up, so it was a misdiagnosis. But you throw that out, and then you just medicate everybody on things they don't need. Well, then you still have a problem.
Yeah. There are some things in reality that doctors overprescribe for, and for example, my father-in-law, my stepfather-in-law, which was my ex-husband's stepfather, his name was Claude. He had a brain aneurysm. And so he was on a lot of medication because if he fell back wrong, that brain aneurysm could rupture and he could die. But they put him on all this medication for this brain aneurysm. They weren't monitoring his liver and kidneys. And the medication over, umpteen years affected his liver and kidneys, and he ended up dying from liver failure as opposed to the brain aneurysm, which they were trying to save him from. So there are in some situations where, the medication, is helping one area of your life, but actually doing you a disservice in another area of your life. And this is a prime example of where they were trying to save him from this brain aneurysm, so much so that they killed his liver and he died anyways.
Oh my Lord, that is terribly sad.
Yeah.
See, and that's it though. That's where it comes in. Like you have to be in charge of your own health.
Yeah.
You can believe your doctor, you can believe the green person, but really it comes down to you. Like what is it that what do you need? Like what does your gut tell you? What does your heart, not your heart, the gut. What does your gut tell you?
Right.
Usually, that's what my mom always told me. You follow your gut, Stephanie, you are never going to be wrong. And it's never failed me yet.
And that's why it's so important that people make their own medical decisions and not somebody making medical decisions for them, because they know their bodies better than anybody else, and I've always advocated for, people's personal liberties and making their own decisions. But let me let you go, and thanks for calling in.
2-year-old yelling for me now. It was very nice talking to you.
Nice.
I just need someone to call in, so I thought I'd.
Yeah, we love hearing from you, Steph. We love hearing from you.
Yeah, have a great day, everybody.
You too, love bug.
Bye.
Bye. So Cher, you're in the house. Call in. I'm curious. We're talking about this money. I know you were one of the people that brought it up. You were concerned about Churchill Rescue Squad being responsible for this. So curious. This is Betty.
Hello.
Hello.
Who's this?
Hello. Who's this?
Is this Andra?
Yeah.
Yeah, this is AKA Claudia Poncel.
Oh, hey, how are you?
Hi. I don't know if you know this, but on the 11/11, the psychic seer, Danny, she had something on the other day, and they spent, you probably know this already, she has information in writing. She showed it up on the TV screen that names with the name of Lawson and names that are known in the law system are affiliated with people who were affiliated with drug rings up in Hawkins County. And I can tell you the name of the thing if you want to watch it, because
you might as well, because there's people in the chat that might want to watch it.
Yeah, okay. I'm going to get on there. Hold on a minute. I have it in my, I saved it because I was looking for it for a couple of days and I couldn't find it. It's the one that says important information. Let's see if I could find it. I'm sorry. You want me to call back?
Yeah, because I want to let Cher, if Cher wants to call in, I want to let Cher.
Okay, I will call you right back.
Oh, she can't. She says she can't call in right now anyway. She won't be free for about 2 hours. So, yeah, call back, let somebody else, and then we'll go. Yeah. If for any reason you don't call back before I end the session, we will talk about it tomorrow, and we'll give another opportunity, and then you can have an opportunity to bring the link in, and we can pull it up and talk about it.
Okay. All right.
All right. Thanks so much.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Yes, I am wearing a hat because I'm going to be out in the sun today. I'm going to a pool. This is Betty. How can I help you?
Oh, yes, ma'am. I was just watching your little program here. Sorry about my voice. I've been slanding a lot and it's got my throat. But I just wondering, thank you for coming to the area and stuff, investigating or whatever. I just wonder, are you from the area?
No, I'm not. I'm not from Hawkins County. I'm actually reside in Manatee County, Florida.
Oh, okay. I'm in Kingsport.
Now, what do you have to, how do you feel about this whole thing about this Churchill Downs Rescue Squad or Churchill Rescue Squad? I mean, what is it? How do you feel about this? This is all going on in your county, of Sullivan County, as well as Hawkins County, the adjoining county to you. You know, how does this affect you guys?
Well, I think probably they got so many calls from, like mean people and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
They just don't want to deal with it.
That's what I was thinking too, because there's so many nasty people. That's why I was like, maybe it's something not nefarious. Maybe it's something that they just don't feel like dealing with. They don't want the arguments of why did it go to this organization instead of this organization. And I think it's coming up on that 30 days where they need to make a decision, and possibly just, turn it over to the courts. But there's, it's always uneasy when you hear organizations turning money over to the courts, and it makes you wonder why, and of course the speculation, just starts manifesting from there.
Yeah. Plus they're probably under scrutiny because that lady had embezzled and stuff, and they probably, don't want to go through that again. I don't know if you heard about that. The lady, she embezzled like 50,000 or something.
Yeah.
And maybe they're just, hey, Miss Bullhorn, I was wondering too, since most of the activities of the whales, that were in Sullivan County and Kingsport, really. I know Hawkins County's the lead investigator along with TBI and FBI, but nobody ever mentions, what about all the investigations that are probably going on in Kingsport and Sullivan County?
Yeah. Actually, I had a couple conversations with that because we were trying to figure out, what happens if she never made it home and something actually happened to her in Sullivan County? Whose jurisdiction would it really be? If we don't know where she disappeared, we don't know, there's, issues with the timeline. It should Sullivan County actually be the lead in this, because it, like you said, there was so much that happened over in Kingsport and Sullivan County. They're closer to Sullivan County. They live in the tail end of Hawkins County. You drive 7 miles and you are in Sullivan County. And so it makes me wonder.
It's not even 7 miles, man.
Yeah.
It's just a couple miles.
Well, I meant 7 minutes, not 7 miles. 7 minutes. 7 minutes. Sorry. Yeah, but that was my I misspoke.
I'm not knocking Hawkins County or nothing. They're all good police and stuff, and a good sheriff and stuff. But Kingsport and Sullivan County, they got a lot of money, and they're very professional. They're accredited as one of the best. Both Sullivan County and Kingsport is one of the best, agencies in Tennessee. But I think that they're flying under the radar, and y'all not even asking Sullivan County detectives or cops or anything.
Yeah.
I think that
maybe it's by design.
Of course.
Maybe it's by design. Look over here, so you're not looking over here.
I think they're glad that people going, going in front of, in front of their headquarters and stuff and asking questions.
Right.
But yeah, they're flying under the radar, ain't they?
Yeah.
But I think that they got to have people on it.
They have to. I'd have to think, because you're always hearing about these other agencies, but they're only talking about Hawkins, TBI, and FBI. But there was over 100 agencies involved in the search and investigation. So it is possible that Sullivan is flying under the radar and doing a lot more and have a lot more hands into this investigation than we know.
Do you know if anybody? I know you talk to the police and stuff, I think, don't you?
Yeah, I talk to Hawkins County.
Do you know if anybody's been asking Sullivan or Kingsport anything about this?
I know we have not, and it's a great point.
I've heard no YouTubers mention anything about the Kingsport or Sullivan County police.
I bet you they are now.
Yeah.
I bet you they are now. They're probably scratching their heads saying, this guy's making some sense. A lot of the stuff happened over in Kingsport. That's Sullivan County. That has nothing to do with Hawkins County. Hawkins County has no jurisdiction in Sullivan County.
No. And they spent all their time in Sullivan County. The Wales and Donnie. And
even when we go out there.
Too.
When we go out there.
Excuse me, man?
Guess what? We're in Sullivan County more than we're in Hawkins County. The only place we go to Hawkins County is to drive by the Wells property and just see if anything's changed. That's the only thing we do in Hawkins County. Everything else, all of our other work, in all reality, is in Sullivan County.
I heard that it's all grown up down there now, and like nobody's there at the Wells.
It's looking bad. It's looking bad. But we got a new sign put up that people can see that's not obstructed by shrubbery or the foliage out there, and it looked beautiful.
Donnie, he'll be getting out about August 6th. Somebody that knows him, he talked to, told me that. He that's when he's getting out. He'll have to go to a rehab, but that can be outpatient too.
Yeah.
They've done, it's all they can't just change their mind and keep him in there.
Yeah.
But he better give him a lawnmower when he gets out, I guess.
Yeah. I don't think anybody's taking care of that property. I don't know though. You know, there are some people that showed up to that property while we were down in Hawkins County acting like somebody was going to go up there and do something, knowing that nobody's going to violate the law, but, you know, they have to show their ass anyways. And, you know, I kept wondering, well, if you're such a good friend of hers and want to protect her home, why don't you get on that lawnmower and clean it up for her?
I wonder where she's at.
I heard she's in Chattanooga. Then I hear she's in Georgia. I don't think anybody really knows where Candace is at the moment. I've heard that, you know, Grandis is potentially in Wisconsin or Illinois. So we just, nobody really knows. All we know is that they've scattered like cockroaches.
I wonder why she went silent. I mean, it was just all of a sudden and now nothing.
Because I think her attorney said, shut the F up.
Yeah.
You know, you're not doing yourself. Like all this stuff that you guys are doing on these channels are going to come back and bite you in your butt. Like this is going to be used against you should a court hearing come to fruition. I mean, think about it. They've got Don saying, I've got 7 alibis. You got none. You're going down. You know, they got all these clips from them and all these lies, and they're constantly caught up in these lies. And I have a funny feeling a lot of this social media and a lot of the interviews people had with Dawn and Candace at the beginning are certainly going to come back and be the demise of their story, their script, and, you know, the case. That's what I truly believe.
So you think that maybe they got something to do with it, her or that Donnie?
I believe that they both had something to do with it. I thought Don his hands were clean until I looked him dead in his eyes and asked him questions. And it's like, even though he was shaking his head one way, his body was shaking it another way. And I believe he knows exactly where she is and what happened to her. I truly believe that Candace called him. I truly believe that she needed help, and I truly believe he came and helped her. And I think that he is going to forever regret his decision. I think he's living with the emotional turmoil from their decision. But what's done is done, and now they're just barely trying to keep their necks above water and keep them off the chopping block. But I don't think they're going to be successful.
Most people around here think they had something to do with it.
I think,
but me myself, I just don't know.
Yeah.
So I just tell people I don't know if they did or they don't. I mean, a lot smarter people than me are working on it.
Oh yeah, yeah. But, it's difficult because the statistics show that they would be the most probable, and
yeah, but they say if it's 99% chance, there's always that 1% chance they didn't. I guess we got a process. You know, a lot of people are like lynch mob want to go and hang them or whatever, you know, but you can't do that. I mean, we got laws and stuff.
Yeah. But we do have to that's why I said, you know, the law enforcement is working, whether we believe it, you know, whether we think they're working as hard as they should. I believe they are working very hard. I believe if nothing more, they want this case in the bag just to get the spotlight off them, just to give themselves some relief, some breathing room. You know, I think they're working very hard, but we did get some good news. And one of the good news is that Summer was legitimately seen alive on the 15th, which is amazing news. We know that nothing could have happened to her on the 14th. You know, the other great news is that, you know, TBI does have clues, but they have few clues, and they have an investigation which they need to preserve the integrity on, which means there is an investigation, that there is something going on behind the scenes, whether they're telling us or not, because they can't answer specific questions to preserve the integrity of the investigation, which means they have an investigation to preserve, an investigation with information.
You know, Betty, I've got a theory on what happened, but everybody gets mad at me when I mention it. And they act like I'm stupid and stuff, which I probably am.
No,
But
there's no dumb
I think
question.
that I think she walked into the woods and got lost.
And you know,
And,
there's
I
many
know it's
people
stupid.
there's many people that have thought that, but you know, some of the things that have changed my mind on that were from the neighbors. One, we talked to a neighbor. His name was Richard something. He didn't live with a property adjoined or abutted to them, and he specifically stated he heard them calling for Summer. So if she did walk off, you would think that she would have heard her own family calling if he was way up the hill and was able to hear them calling for Summer. She wasn't answering or responding back at that time, which, you know, and not only that, but I think the other thing that makes me kind of not think, I mean, of course it's possible. It is possible, and it could be probable in respects to that. But the other thing is as many people as they had, if she would have been out there after all this time, she would still be on top of the ground. And as many investigations they've done, because you got to look at how fast can a 5-year-old really travel. And yeah, they have a lot of steam at first, but some of that steam slows down. And you sound like you're old enough to have children. I'm not sure if you do, but if you had young children, they run, and all of a sudden you hear silence and you're walking and you see them in the middle of the hallway sleeping because they tuckered themselves out. So you would think at this point that they would have found her on top of the ground. And even the own Wells PIs, they brought all these specialized drones and stuff out that can see what's under the ground as opposed to what's on top of the ground, which puts a whole new spin on the speculation as to, you know, everybody seems to be looking for her buried as opposed to being on top of the ground.
But, you know, Betty, we got wild hogs in Hawkins County now.
And they can destroy something quick.
Yeah, they eat anything.
Mm-hmm. Bone and all. People don't realize that.
Another thing, Betty, you're talking about kids walking off. It's not like it. But about 8 or 10 years ago here in Kingsport, over in the area of Kingsport called Beartown, there's a rock quarry near that Beartown neighborhood. But it's through the woods and up a steep hill, almost mountain, then down. There was a little 2-year-old walked away from his home, walked 2 miles, and the little fella fell in that rock quarry, and he died.
Yeah.
So kids can walk away.
Yeah. How long did it take for them to find that child, though? That's the question, and that's where this does come up.
They found within hours because I think the rock quarry people seen the kid down there.
Yeah. And that's my point too, is even if she did walk away and did meet her demise, I mean, at this point we would have thought that she would have been found. And, you know, there's no criminal action for a child walking off. You know, it was a terrible accident, a tragic accident that happened. And that's not what we're really getting at this point a year later.
I was thinking maybe Candace, you know, she just starts getting high at 5 o'clock every day. And I figured maybe she got stoned and the kid walked off. She probably don't watch the kids.
That's been our understanding this whole time.
Crazy she gets.
Yeah.
And then again, she might have just hauled off and just smacked the crap out of the kid. And, I mean, my mom and dad used to smack us good, you know.
Yeah.
And we could have fell and hit against a wall or something and got killed.
Yeah.
But
and that house was dangerous. Yeah. I mean, we can all agree that if that did happen, that house was dangerous. That environment was not safe for children. Just wasn't.
And she don't care about kids, or she wouldn't have lost a total of probably about 7 of them now, I think.
6. Total of 6.
So she lost them all, one way or another.
Yeah.
So she don't really care about her kids, I don't think.
Yeah.
But you know what, Eddie? The police and investigators, they seem to think that kid is down in that area, right near that house somewhere.
Yeah.
They're not looking way off or nothing.
They are not.
They keep going back and looking.
Yeah.
They do a lot of these little searches that nobody knows about when they get little tips and stuff.
Yeah.
Where it might just be a couple of them go out and look at in a yard or something. And it's all of them. I've talked to a cop I know. He said every one of those searches is like within a mile of the Wells home.
Yeah.
You
Let me
know,
ask you this.
They did the 3 big searches, you know.
Yeah, let me
but
ask you
they're
this.
doing that.
With the we saw recently there was a PI, a private investigator. The Wells private investigators did a search the Saturday before our prayer and candlelight vigil. They injected a new theory. Their new theory is animal attack. And you live in that
They
area.
got bears around too.
Mm-hmm. But wouldn't you think with
And-
the animal attack that would have been really, really noticeable at the time it would have happened?
Well, when an animal attacks, it makes a mess. There's no doubt about that. With little kids, so those dogs should have picked up her scent. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Okay.
So, and I hate to think that stuff.
Oh, of course. No, we don't want to think it, but I just thought it was, they allege that, that even law enforcement is taking that into consideration, that that's a real possibility. I'm thinking we've never heard law enforcement ever discuss the possibility of an animal attack, and all of a sudden now it's being injected as as a true statement that law enforcement is looking at it. And maybe they did look at it, maybe it was something, but with no evidence of an animal attack, I mean, that would have been pretty noticeable. I mean, you're not talking about it just, a person just disappearing. You're talking about ripped clothing. You're talking about a very gruesome sight to see. And I would think that it would have been heard. People said that it would have been some noises that you had never heard before. And then people are like, well, Jody Sue said this, but Jody Sue's statement was inaccurate because we got the text messages of that day with her and Andy Bernard. And it appears that a noise did wake her up, but somehow over 5 months, that noise, she didn't know what woke her up, is now an animalistic scream, which is why I think law enforcement said that was unfounded information.
I don't think the police pay much attention to that Jody Sue.
Yeah.
She's probably a nice lady, but I suspect she likes to get stoned every day too, over mine.
Yeah.
So, yeah. But we got, like I said, we got wild hogs here in Hawkins now. I seen a hairy pig out when I was going down through Goshen Valley,
Mm-hmm.
at the other side of the mountain from the well. And I was talking to my niece. She lives there. I said, man, somebody's pig got loose.
Mm-hmm.
I said, there's a wild-looking pig. He was skinny and hairy. She said, oh, it's a wild pig. We got him down here now. She lives in Grassy Creek, which is like a neighboring to Beach Creek. It's like the next community over and stuff.
Yeah.
But I didn't mean to talk to you.
No, I love it. I love it. We very rarely get guys that call in and give their perspective. It was great. I hope you call back again. And we love the insight. I got to say, with all the bad that goes on, your community is very beautiful. I like it. Kingsport is a nice area, and so is Hawkins County. I think the area is gorgeous. And, it's just sad that
wish people would throw their trash out there.
Yeah. You do have a problem with that,
Did you
no
notice
doubt.
a lot of that littering down here?
Yeah.
Is that everywhere? Do they have stores too?
No, I mean, of course we have our dumping, like when you have rural areas and there's not, and you're kind of more responsible for your own garbage. Yeah, you get that in the more rural areas. But around here, we have garbage pickup every 2 weeks. We just set it out front. They take it. We're done. There's no need for it.
It'd be a lot prettier around here if you didn't go down the road and see where people take it.
Yeah.
People throw old mattresses and couches outside the highway.
Yeah. Well, you know what you guys can do is start having some of those big companies like the Eastman Chemical Company adopt a highway and get people out there to clean them up. That and it helps bring revenue in.
People do clean up. Plus, prisoners come out and clean up too. But some people are just awful,
Yeah. They're not raised right.
One more thing. Excuse me.
I said they're not raised right.
Yeah. One more thing, Betty. Can I mention this? People always keep calling that one the lake the horse pond, and I think people are confused. They think it's just some small, dirty little pond, but actually that lake is like 12 miles long. It's a huge lake. It's not a dirty horse pond.
No. No, but that
You know.
one area there, like there was 1,000 places that they could have gone that was much cleaner, much prettier, that didn't have all the crap underneath it. You know, I always wondered, why do they choose that particular spot? But we went out on that lake, and that lake is very big. It's gorgeous. People have a lot of fun. We saw people skiing, you know, on the back of the boats. It sounded like this is the place that people go to have a good time. But it's just that one area next to the horse stables that is really kind of, and it is trashy there. There's a lot of liquor, beer bottles,
around
and
here usually, if they're drinkers and pot smokers, they go there because it's secluded.
Yep.
And I suspect that's the reason she went there.
Yep. And we found out that she was
to be with that young guy, you know.
Yeah, it's possible.
That's it.
And people speculate. And not only that, but we found out their van was there a lot longer than we would have been told for the last year it's been there. And it makes me wonder, you know, maybe that might be an area of interest if they haven't scoured that area very well, you know, because they were there much longer than they said they were there. And it makes me wonder, why would they lie about that?
Do you think it maybe her, Candace, and that, you know, the young man walked into the woods and did their thing and kind of left
it is
Summer
possible.
there, and
Yeah.
maybe something happened to her.
It could be possible.
And then they got back to her, and, you know.
I think it's
But,
possible.
that's
I think
all.
anything is on the table when it comes to Candace, because I do believe things have happened to Hunter. I truly believe that in my heart. There's something that weighs on me every time I talk about it. I feel like that whole entire family, that whole entire Wells family, is just you know, they're bad people, and it's on both sides of the family. It's not just Don Wells, it's Candace too. I think they're both you know, deviants, and I think they've committed crimes on young children, both of them.
Ooh, that's bad.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Candace has any kinfolk around here, though, does she?
What was it?
I don't think Candace has any kinfolk around here. I mean, in Kingsport area.
Yeah, I don't think so, but I know that the Goads are pretty thick out there in Hawkins and Sullivan County, and so there is a tie for Don, you know, by the marriage of his mom to the Goads.
He don't talk like, neither one of them talk like they're from around here. They don't sound like a hick like I do.
Yeah.
But anyway, Betty, it was nice talking to you. I didn't mean to talk your ear off.
That's okay. I love it. Thank you. Thank you so much for calling in. It was great.
Okay, thank you, man. Goodbye.
Bye-bye. So that was really, you know, nice to hear from somebody that's in and around the area. You know, I always like to hear what they may have gone through, you know, how this is affecting them. Lots of great perspective from a person that lives in and around there, and brought up great valid points. You know, what about Sullivan County? Everything kind of happened over in Sullivan County, you know, everything. So this is Betty.
Hey, woman.
Hello.
I honestly think they need to take Don's DNA and go back to all of these states where he's been arrested and look for missing girls.
Yeah, that would be interesting.
I'm sorry?
I said that would be interesting. You're right. They probably should run him through the national database, especially if it's not the national database, at least taking his DNA and running it through the states that they know he was in, because he did a lot of stuff. I mean, we followed his criminal record back to the 1980s from Florida, his arrest here in Florida.
If you're arrested and put in a county jail, do you get your DNA tested, or
they made a new law? I want to say it was back in 2010, maybe a little bit before, like around that era, where but I don't know if this is just Florida or if this is all the states in the United States. But here in Florida, if you are charged, you don't even have to be convicted. If you are charged with felony, we have laws here that your DNA must be collected at that time of arrest. And I don't know, if you're not found guilty, if that's disposed of, or if it's kept in the national database. But they are required here in the state of Florida that if you are charged, that means if you're arrested for any type of felony, whether you actually committed the felony or not, you have to provide a biological sample of your DNA to the state of Florida for their purposes. And, I don't know how that works. I don't know, because we were so far behind in processing DNA here in the state of Florida by the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, the FDLE, that I don't know how those other samplings from the felons that are arrested, how that all goes, and whether those are being processed properly and in a timely manner and being properly introduced into the national database. I honestly don't know.
So would you think that it's quite possibly something that needs to be looked into?
Yeah.
Because with Miss Mary and her sister and the essay there, and then this missing child case, and him being, a POS.
Mm-hmm. And never mind, his sister-in-law is also missing, and it has never been heard from again.
Right. I understand that. And then I would like to ask you, have you looked up people that are able to pass a polygraph? The sociopath, psychopath, if TBI is saying they passed the polygraph, right?
Right.
I mean,
TBI's never said that. We've never heard TBI or any law enforcement say it. We've never visually saw any law enforcement specifically state out of their mouths. We've never seen any law enforcement lips moving, stating that Don and Candace passed a lie detector test. What we heard was, and Brian Enton, I rely on him. He's trustworthy. I believe when he says something, but I find it funny, and I'm going to explain. But Brian Enton stated that Ronnie Lawson told him they passed the lie detector test. But I find it funny that Ronnie Lawson never made a public appearance and those words come out of his mouth. Now, one of two things can happen. Law enforcement's allowed to lie to the public. So therefore, to preserve the integrity of the case, are they just did he just tell Brian Enton that so it would be, out there in the news that they did pass for integrity purposes? Or did they legitimately pass? Because what I found funny is even their timeline, even Don and Candace's timeline on passing the polygraph is in question, because he says that he passed his polygraph test on the 17th, on June 17th, and that she passed hers just a few days after they were requested to pass their, at first. Both of them were offered a polygraph test. Don was falling asleep on his polygraph test, which is awfully odd because people that usually have missing children can't sleep, let alone, fall asleep while having a polygraph. So I found that behavior a little odd. And Candace was too upset to take a polygraph. And we all know that being upset is not supposed to affect the polygraph in the least.
Yeah.
So those were
she's not looking too upset now.
Right. But Candace never passed her polygraph until they were approaching the second week into the investigation. But Dawn is out there stating that she passed her polygraph test, mere days after they originally requested it. And that's not true, because I've got a report from WJHL the day that she passed her polygraph, and it was entering the second week of the investigation. So my point is there was time to research how to pass a polygraph, in my opinion.
Right, correct. Or take some type of medication.
Yeah. And so I'm curious, because I heard that the drug tests were given to both Dawn and Candace as well, and those drug tests were failed. But again, I've got no concrete information. I can't take that as fact, because to me, it was more of a rumor, because I have not been able to confirm that, whether that is true or not.
Right. Well, I think somebody needs to run his DNA and throw it right back into cities where he was arrested and where he's been, because,
might solve some cases.
Essay 5-year-old that's in your family. God only knows what you're going to do from there.
Right. That's interesting. Very interesting. I appreciate it. Thank
All
you
right,
so
ma'am. Have a good
much.
day.
Have a great day.
Bye-bye.
God bless you. So I see a number's been trying to call in. If you want to, 2124. If you want to try to call in now, go ahead and try to call in now. The lines are open. That was a phone number ending in 2124. There you are. This is Betty.
Hello, Andra?
Yes.
It's Claudia.
Hey, Claudia.
My
How
real
are
name
you
is
doing, honey?
Maria. Yeah, I found the link. I've been sending it, but I'm asking if you got it. So I'm going to send it again right now. Let me know if you could see it, okay?
Okay.
Mute the TV. I could see it on my phone, but I don't see it on the TV. That's why
Yeah, you might not be able to put links in my chat. I'm not sure. You might have to you email it to me and we'll discuss it tomorrow. We're already through a past 2 hours and I will make a point to go over all of it tomorrow. Send it to bullhornbetty@gmail.com and I will make sure that we discuss it tomorrow and go through it tomorrow.
Okay, yeah, because there's a lot of names that are mentioned in the articles that she puts up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm sure I'm sure people are going to be interested in it and would want to see it. So go ahead and email it to me and we'll definitely talk about it tomorrow.
Why, as soon as I found it again, I wanted to get it to you. I was glad you were taking calls.
Yeah.
All right. I won't keep you. Have a lovely day.
You
and
too.
Thank you for having this and all the work you do. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Anytime. God bless you.
Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
So I'm going to go ahead and shut the phone lines down for now. We had a great conversation. We were able to cover a lot of topics. We were able to get some perspective. You know, a lot of people have their own opinions about what happened that fateful day on June 15th. We're still working. You know, we're never going to have the information from that the police have until they release it. But again, the good news is here, folks, is that we did determine and confirm that Summer Wells was alive on June 15th, which is huge because, you know, we were second guessing. A lot of people were second guessing themselves and starting to think, you know, could it have been the 14th? Could there have been some more nefarious? You know, then we're applying the West case to this and realizing the West boys were gone months before they were turned into law enforcement as missing. And it just makes us, you know, wonder what's really going on here. And it's just one of those things. We don't know. We know something bad happened that day. We're trying to find the culprits to that. You know, we're going to be speculating as to who that may be and what may have happened. But at the end of the day, no matter where we went out and got, you know, firsthand knowledge of it, everything circles back to that property. Everything circles back to Don and Candace and Grandis Wells. There's just no ways around it. No matter how we flip the coin, it is the same three people in the same area. And so it does cause question. And because we're wondering what's going on, it does allow us to speculate and give our opinions on what we believe happened. I, without a doubt, believe something happened at the hands of Summer's mother, Candace Bly, a.k.a. Candace Wells. And I truly believe she called Don Wells, and Don Wells is complicit in the covering up of whatever happened to Summer Wells that day. That is my opinion, based upon information that I garnered from interviews I've had with multiple people in and around the Wells, including our conversation with Dave Dotson's daughter, which explained a lot about him. He seems like a nice guy. He, you know, again, for just wanting to take the boys out while investigators are at the house and taking them for putt-putt golf and just being an upstanding citizen, he got crucified and people tried to blame him for it. I don't think he had anything to do with it. Just like I don't think Jody Sue had anything to do with it. Just like I don't think Jose Roman had anything to do with it. Just like I don't believe Allie or that crew had anything to do with it. Was Hunter there when it happened? Possibly. It appears that he may have been there for whatever happened to Summer Wells that day, right? His behavior was off and never the same again when he returned home that day, which is a great indicator that he witnessed something traumatic. The fact that we see Candace with Chris McDonough and having a slow-mo type of recollection of what happened at that water hole that day, again, puts in our minds that, again, something bad happened out there at the water hole. There's just a number of things that could have transpired. Am I right that there was a second drive? We don't know if there was a second drive, but we believe that whatever happened was a result of them being at that horse pond, at that water hole that day. Does that mean that's 100%? Of course not. That's just the information that we were able to get, and we are putting these pieces of the puzzle together in having conjecture, opinions, and speculation as to what that information truly means. We get the facts, but the dissection of those facts and applying those facts can be different from person to person, which is what causes these wide swings in the speculation information. So, it is and I still have yet, I've made the determination for myself what happened that fateful day on June 15th, 2021. When I went down there in December, and we had a major fact-finding mission where we spoke to a litany of people about the Wells, about Summer, about what their knowledge was, about the information. We're still going down there, and every time we go down there, we get a new interview from a new person that had firsthand knowledge of certain facts about this case on that day, June 15th, 2021. And we were able to extract that information. But all this information that we've got, all these interviews we've had, it has never changed the players in the game. It has never changed. It never moved them away from the Wells. And even when it did, we come right back to, why are the Wells behaving this way if they had nothing to do with this? Their behavior has never been right. You can't explain that away by blaming it on somebody else. Because if it was somebody else, why aren't they out there fighting for their daughter? Why aren't they out there searching for their daughter? Can you imagine if you truly believed your neighbor was responsible for the disappearance of your child, you being able to stay home and not going to their door and almost beating it down, asking them what the F is going on here? What did you do with my daughter? We never even had that from the Wells, right? So it just has a stink on it. And even the law enforcement, if she was truly abducted, they would have gotten her further away from that hill than they did. But yet all the investigations, all the searches are still honed in and around that area, which is a big signal to me of who law enforcement truly believes is responsible and where they truly believe Summer might be. They're not looking miles and miles away. They're still honed in on one general area, and that matters in this situation. So with that, guys, I want to tell you, I love each and every one of you. I think you are amazing and beautiful people. We have great conversations on here. Even if we disagree with the viewpoints of others, we're able to speak about it and have opposing viewpoints. It makes for great debate. So without each and every one of you, we would not be able to have these conversations and have these perspectives brought forth without people's opinions and speculations. So I thank each and every one of you guys. Go out, make it a great Friday. Don't forget, 7 p.m. We are going to be here, 7 p.m. And we are going to laugh our rear ends off. It's going to be girls' night out, but we're going to bring the guys with us. We're going to bring the guys with us. We need our security here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. So we want the guys to participate in this laugh session, right? Without the guys, this would not be possible as well. So we love you guys. Go make it a great Friday, and I'll see you here tonight on our laugh session, having a good time, letting the stress and everything just go for just a couple of hours. And then we'll get back to business the next morning. But we're going to let it all go. We're going to have fun. We're going to let it all out. We're going to laugh. We're going to enjoy ourselves. Guys, don't forget to be fearless. Have an amazing day.
As you wake up in the morning, you want to find the latest, greatest information about criminal cases and have an intuitive conversation about the suspects associated with these cases. Head over to the Bullhorn Betty channel on YouTube. Get breaking news right here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Welcome to the Bullhorn Betty Coffee Club. Enjoy your stay and enjoy your day.